So this is clearly during Muhammad's time. And it's saying they have the Torah, which contains all his judgment. The thing is, when we're saying that the Torah was corrupted before this point, why is Allah very clearly confirming this book? What do you believe about the Torah and the Gospel?
I believe they were corrupted. I believe they were sent to Jesus, both prophets Moses and Jesus, and after their departure they were corrupted. But we do believe that there are some verses within both texts that still are word of God.
So when was it corrupted? Just like soon after the writing?
I think we believe it was maybe a couple hundred years after, but I'm not too sure on the timeline.
So by Muhammad's time it was corrupted?
Before, a little bit before that, I believe.
By Muhammad's time it's definitely corrupted. Yeah. So there's certain verses in the Quran that I look at, and it seems to be that it affirms the Torah and the Gospel during Muhammad's time. The issue with that is we know exactly what those texts looked like during that time frame.
Are you referring to the verse where it says, go back to the Injil and the Torah?
There's a lot of different verses that you can point to.
But the thing with that verse in particular, we're not telling Muslims that the Injil and the Bible is the word of God at that time. When the verse was revealed, it was telling the Muslims to turn back. It basically was a story of the people of the time of Jesus and of the time of Moses.
Well, that's not the passage I'm referring to. If you're talking about one referring to the actual original revelation. So I'm talking about like Surah 543, where it's talking about a dispute that Muhammad's having with the Jews during his time frame. And it says, but why do they come to you for judgment when they have the Torah, which contains all his judgment? So this is clearly during Muhammad's time. And it's saying they have the Torah, which contains all his judgment. The thing is, when we're saying that the Torah was corrupted before this point, why is Allah very clearly confirming this book?
I'm not too sure. You have great points. Like I said, I can't even back my own religion now. I'm still learning about mine. I can't back up Christianity either.
Sure.
But I guess I'm just on my own journey to find out what the truth is.
That's good. And I think that, man, when we're genuinely looking for the truth, I think that we will find it. Because I believe that Jesus actually is the truth and it's verifiable. Instead of it just being something that it's like, oh, I'm going to blindly trust and hope that I'm correct. Yeah. I want it to be something that I'm sure of.
Sure. But then have you gone to mosques and
I have.
Synagogues and really?
I've gone to mosque, yeah.
Have you got a Quran?
Yeah, I have too.
That's amazing. I'm actually impressed. A lot of people, I speak to them and they say, yeah, we've been. But then when I ask them about Qurans, they say, no, we haven't actually got any. I respect it. I'm quite surprised, actually. It caught me off guard.
I want to study these things because I want to know what's true. And I think that the Quran is verifiably false in the same way that I can see that Christianity is verifiably true.
So there is a possibility of you learning that there is a possibility of Islam being true.
Sure, if you want to say that.
It would have to be hard evidence for you to become a Muslim.
There's a bunch of different main things that would have to be disproven that I'm currently looking at. So certain stuff like that I brought up, where it's like it affirms the Torah during Muhammad's time, but we know that the Torah contradicts the Quran. So very clearly Allah didn't know what he was confirming, so I should reject the Quran. You see what I mean?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I just haven't read these passages, so I'm not going to speak on anything. I'm not even going to speak on the Bible, because I don't want to be an unjust person.
One thing that I didn't bring up, there's a passage in Surah 7, 157. It directly states that this is talking about during Muhammad's time. It's saying that you'll find the description of Muhammad, the unlettered prophet, in the Torah and the Gospel. But then, because we know what the Torah and the Gospel look like during that time, we can see that Muhammad is very clearly not prophesied in those scriptures. And even if it was prophesied in, say, the Torah but not the Gospel, then that verse would still be false. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, no. I appreciate you. Like I said, I speak to other people on the app, but you're the first interaction I've had, and I appreciate your patience.
For sure, man.
Thank you, bro. Have a wonderful day.